Hey, this is Kurt Hale, family pastor at the church on Rush Creek in Arlington, Texas. And in today's episode of the Family Blast, we are busting through the awkward. Did I hit it? Busting through the awkward. On today's episode of the Family Blast, we are busting through the awkward. Hey guys, in our last episode, we talked about the spirit of defeat and how it's crippling many Christian parents who want to lead spiritually in their homes but feel like failures. Maybe we've got too big of an idea of what it's supposed to be because we think it's supposed to be like Sunday school. Other times, it just feels plain awkward. Has it ever felt like this in your home? Son, please stop what you're doing. I'd like to talk with you about my faith now. This is weird. Wait, are you sick or something? Hey, let's face it. Talking about your faith can be awkward sometimes, especially when you're just beginning. But I have 4 tips today that might make you feel a little more comfortable. So let's start here. Here's tip number 1. Talk about faith with your kids while doing something else. This is just a fact. God designed kids to learn best when they're moving and running and playing and acting silly and laughing. That's where they learn best. I'm telling you what, when I'm outside in the yard with my kids, doing what they love to do, the conversation just flows and they don't even realize how much they're sharing with me and I'm sharing with them and discipleship is happening. So that's tip number 1. Talk to your kids about faith while doing something else. Tip number 2, talk with your kids, not at. Do you remember when you were a kid and your parents talked at you? To give us an example of what that looks like, I'm bringing in a special friend. Her name is Esmeralda. This is what it sounds like to kids when you talk at them. Blee blah 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 blee blah 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 blee blah 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 blah. Look, what you are sharing with your kids is way too important for them to miss out because you're just droning on and on. So engage them into a conversation. Talk with them about faith. Hear what they've got to say too. Tip number 3, don't save the giant faith conversations for one moment in time. I don't know who thought this was a great idea. Sure, son, I know you're 12 and I've never talked to you about sex before, but I'm going to try to get it all in one giant conversation in the next 15 minutes. And go. How could that not be awkward? Through your actions of avoiding it, you've told your son already, this is not a topic I'm comfortable talking about. So he's not going to feel comfortable either. Don't save it all for one giant conversation. Talk about it as it comes up and make it a natural flow of your life. And then it won't be awkward because your kids will be used to you talking about it. Don't save it all up for one time. And finally, tip number 4, just own it. If it feels awkward, just own it with your son or with your daughter. Let them know, hey, I know this conversation is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's important enough to me to fight through it and tell you what I really believe. That's what we do as parents. We transfer our faith to our children through conversations and through actions. And so sometimes we just have to own it and say, this is important. We're going to talk about this. Hey, I hope this video blessed you. If it did, share it on your social media account. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. About every 2 weeks, I'll be blasting you with information on how your family can move forward in the faith together. We're in this together. You can do this. I'll see you next time.